Lydia is binging away on the weekends, but insists nothing is bothering her. But is that true?
Nothing I did was working. The more I tried, the more out of control my eating became. Then, I did something I hadn't tried before. I became a savvy detective and figured things out. If I can do it, so can you. Find out more at solveyouroutofcontrol.eating.com.
Welcome to Solve Your Out of Control Eating. I'm Vicki Todd, a child and adult psychoanalyst and an eating disorder specialist.
And I'm Michelle Holtzberger, a clinical social worker. But in the virtual world, we are savvy detectives
who solve real life eating mysteries like today's.
And we're going to teach you how to solve them too. So here we go. Step into our virtual office for this brief therapy session. Then stick around afterwards. You'll hear our detective work and practical advice. Now, here is part 1 of Lydia.
What a frustrating weekend. I was supposed to be grading papers, but I couldn't focus or even sit still. I just kept making trips to the refrigerator and eating whatever I could get my hands on.
Wonder what was going on.
I don't know. Not much new at work. Well, actually there is. I'm on the ballot for the Teacher of the Year award, first time for a science teacher. We don't get many props.
Congratulations.
Thank you. When the principal announced the nominees, he said I was known for my high standards and creative assignments, and that made me smile. And I do enjoy most of the interactions with my students. Boosts my confidence and makes me feel good. But what makes me feel terrible are my weekend binges. Ugh. Totally out of control, mindless eating.
I'm not sure I buy the mindless eating, Lydia, because I think eating is an important communication about something that needs to be understood.
We're even then, because I don't buy the important communication.
Can we just give it a try? Maybe tell me about last weekend?
Sure. I was perfectly fine all week long, ate healthy, worked out, and I had the weekend all planned out in my head. I would stick to my meal plan, log my water intake, and take an afternoon hike on Saturday. Then I had to get busy because I had papers to finish grading before Monday. But on Friday night, I started to feel agitated. I made trip after trip to the refrigerator. Finally, I gave up and pigged out on some ice cream. But I did pull myself together on Saturday morning and I went to yoga. Then I graded a few papers before I left for my hike. I love Metro Park. I spent 2 hours walking around. The weather was so perfect, and everyone was out and about, and I really enjoyed being out in nature, plus it's good exercise. But when it was time to go home, that's when everything fell apart.
Fell apart?
Well, for one thing, I was too tired to cook, and the iceberg salami with the chickpeas wasn't cutting it, so I ordered pizza. No sooner had I opened the pizza box, and bam! I ate the whole thing. And I didn't stop there. I went in and lied down on the couch, zoned out watching TV, chomping on pretzels and peanut M&Ms, till I finally fell asleep. Sunday wasn't much better because I totally felt hungover, like a food hangover. But I forced myself to grade papers and I mindlessly munched away on chips after chips. Ugh. And that's how my weekends go. Like a scene from the movie Groundhog Day. I eat a plethora of healthy foods during the week and a standard selection of junk food on the weekends.
Well, I notice how you're focusing on the food. I'm not really hearing much about your feelings.
I'm not much of a feely person. Food is all I think about on the weekends. I wish you would teach me some behavioral tricks to deal with my ravenous appetite.
I bet you know more tricks than I do.
I know about keeping a food journal, putting your fork down between bites, brushing your teeth, and stuff like that, but I can't do any of them.
Something just gets in the way?
Yes.
Wonder what it is.
Now comes the fun stuff, the detective work. Let's see if we can figure out why Lydia binges on the weekends.
Lydia made it clear in the beginning that she didn't buy any of the therapist's assertions that eating is a nonverbal communication of something that needs attention. And she only acknowledged a few feelings, mainly frustration. Frustration interacting with students made her feel good. Weekend binges made her feel terrible. And the other big one, agitation, which must be anxiety.
Right, that's how I took it too. And also, you know, she was saying she wasn't a feely person.
Yes, but I know that it's feelings that she cannot allow herself to know about that are driving these weekend binges.
And the binges are so repetitive. You know, she called them predictable, kind of like a scene from Groundhog Day.
That's right.
You know, Lydia is obviously an invested teacher, but we don't really hear anything about family or friends. You know, in fact, I kind of think of her as like lonely Lydia. I mean, if she hadn't gone for a walk, she might not have had any human contact all weekend.
Very good point. When Lydia is faced with being home alone, returning home from work on Friday night, going home from the park, that's when she engages in the binges. We don't know why at this point, but being home alone is very hard for her.
So until she can figure things out, it sounds like she needs a protection plan.
She does. And she came up with a partial one herself, the Saturday activity she had planned. She's a very smart woman, but she needs to expand her plan. There is nothing that soothes anxiety like a schedule. You and I know that from our days at Children's Aid Society in Cleveland. Regimented, always knowing what's next to come, no surprises, very comforting to those traumatized, anxious children. So Lydia may need an hour-to-hour protection plan that is written down so she can refer to it when anxiety gets the best of her good thinker. But I don't think a tight schedule alone will be enough for Lydia. She needs to continue in therapy so she can figure out what's going on a feeling level, because something surely is.
That's right. Well, I can't wait for part 2 for the big discovery and the feeling that she needs to face to stop the binges. So that's all we have for now. There's more mysteries like Lydia to come, and part 2 is coming soon. So be sure, give us a like, subscribe, and share. And remember,
Keep searching for clues.